prior to the track day, we never got the electronics situated on the car, so I still had ABS,
fantastic.
and the traction was still there, and the yaw
What?
sensors were all still there. So it didn't really slide. Like a mile of cars just spectators parked, because we had like 60 or 70 people out there spectating too.
Yeah.
I'd be stressed out putting all that money up and just praying. that
Oh,
people
it's
are gonna come,
it's
you know?
stressful.
That's
It's
a lot of,
stressful.
like, that's a good amount of money to just gamble
Yeah,
with.
it's
Tell me about this Silver Dollar stuff.
Most people are seeing, 50 to 70 to 80 mile an hour entries into this skid pad.
The fucking parking lot.
Yeah. I mean,
How often are you trying to host the events?
estimating around 400,000 to get the whole track tape.
A mile-long track? So that's going to be a thing. Y'all are going to do the full track length of events, or hoping to.
Yeah, hoping to. The main thing, I mean, we just want a place to drive that's local, that's not 3 hours away from us. We want Silver Dollar Motorsports Park to stay open.
Look, they said that I couldn't do it, so I went. Did it. W's only, you know I've been.
Welcome back to the #1 Drift podcast on YouTube. I am Dawson, and we have today.
Alex Beamer.
And
And Talon Arsenault.
nice to meet you. Thanks for coming on, of course. Before we get into it, of course, subscribe and make sure to hit that bell notification so you are updated with every podcast. But that is actually all I'm going to give for the introduction. So if you guys want to kind of give a rundown on who you are, like how you got into drifting, how you got into cars in general, stuff like that.
So I have always been into like car games my whole life, and it was pretty much that the whole time. It was just Test Drive, Need for Speed, Project Gotham, Forza, all the way up. And then, I've always been into
The
cars.
usual.
I learned a lot about them from that. And really just last year, I got my first like tuner car, and I got that Infinity and got it built, got it ready to go, got everything into it, bolt, every full bolt on, angle kit, everything, and just
You
started doing
dove
this
deep
stuff.
on the first car.
Man, like my buddy
First
bought
year.
the car and he asked me, "Oh, what should I put in it?" And I gave him a list of all this stuff, and he bought damn near everything and put it in this car. Spent like $12,000 or $13,000 on these parts. And
Damn.
then 6 months later, he's like, "I don't really want the car. You buy it." I said,
okay.
"Well, I'll take it. Yeah, man, I'll buy it." So I got a good deal on it, and that was it. It just kind of took off from there. I haven't really done any track. Not into drifting, but like didn't really do anything for drifting apart from video games. And then
Beforehand, before buying the car?
yeah.
That's crazy. Love that.
And then just said,
Just
I'm
jump
just
into
gonna
it.
all into it. Forget it. And I did one event, and it just took off from there.
Well, sick. Oh, yeah. Well, what you got?
Yeah, man. So, growing up, I really didn't have anyone that was into cars or anything. And like drifting wasn't even a thing when I was growing up. But I do remember one time late at night on HBO, or it might have been like Fuel TV or something. But I'm assuming it was Formula Drift. And I remember seeing a green and blue car going sideways and lots of smoke.
Yep.
And then I just thought it was the coolest thing. And then, years later, I find out it's one of those. It was like a Falcon FD RX-7. Can't remember who was driving it, but I was like, man, that thing is so sick.
James Dean's car, probably.
Maybe. I mean, it was probably 15 years ago. It might not have even
That car's
been
been
FD.
around for a long
Yeah,
time.
but I remember it was just perfect.
Hell yeah.
But so I wasn't even into cars then. I played Need for Speed as a kid. Got into Forza a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I bought my first car with my money, I got an E46. Didn't know nothing about cars. Hopped into a BMW. And it was, if I wanted to keep the car and be able to afford to have the car, I had to learn how to work on my car.
Become self-sufficient or die, motherfucker.
Yeah, so, having, I guess that was like, what was that, a 10-year-old car that I had, an E46,
Yeah.
10-year-old BMW. I was just working on it pretty much all the time. I was modifying stuff, seeing what my buddies were doing to their Hondas and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, I can do this in my BMW. Not kind of, not really.
Yeah.
So, I made a lot of mistakes, and then, I got pretty good at working on cars. And then eventually I bought me an E30 just because I thought it was the coolest
Dude,
car
I
ever.
love E30s, man.
And so when I got that, I was, still not really interested in drifting or racing. You know, all my buddies, they had pretty much Hondas or newer Hondas. You know,
That's
I mean,
surprising.
yeah, I mean, that's just kind of how it was. You know, some of my friends, I mean, they have cooler stuff. But, I mean, I didn't really know anything about them. But so I didn't really do much to my E30 when I had it. But after a while, you know, I started seeing people on the BMW forums, and most of those guys, they're either keep their car stock, maintain it. That's just the type of people they are, or they're racing them, like road racing them. And then the very small subsection of some of the forums, there'd be the drifting forums. And I started going in there and seeing what these guys were doing, and I was like, I need to do this.
Yep.
And I still had my E46, but it was all-wheel drive E46, so that was not an option, you know.
Sure it is.
So, yeah, not with
a little more complicated, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be better just to buy a rear-wheel drive to sell the thing.
Yeah.
But so then I started heavily looking into drifting my E30, and then it just kind of sat on the back burner for a while. And my E30 was also an automatic, by the way.
Yep.
So I eventually did I bought an E36 running car and did a M50 B25 swap in it. Did a 5-speed swap in it, all solid bushings. Shortly after that, went to my first drift event up at Lanier. Not too great. I was pretty disappointed. You know, I thought I was going to go out there and be ripping. But
not usually how it goes. You always fuck up the first one.
Yeah, but you know, I didn't know much about drifting. I figured I'd be good at it. It was fun. I did it though.
What were some main things that you kind of like ran into the first day?
So I have an M50 E30. It's not a lot of power. So I found out later like what my mistakes were, but you know, entering offline, I didn't have the power to dig myself out of trouble.
Yeah.
Coming in too hot, didn't have any angle to like angle my way out of trouble. But I mean, overall, I just didn't really know what I was doing. I knew what a clutch kick was, but I didn't know how to do it, when to do it.
But it necessarily.
Yeah, like what the car feels like when you do it, like when you're at speed entering the corner.
Yeah.
But I think overall, like the first drift event, I mean, it was great, man. It was pretty nervous going out there the first time, but when I realized I wasn't the only one spinning out the whole time, it wasn't that big of a deal.
There you go.
And then
preach it, damn it.
Yeah. So my second event, though, you know, I went against the grain. Everyone says don't get an angle kit early. I get a full blown SLR Ultra kit. All right, so
because I'll stand strong on that. Don't get an angle kit from the beginning.
Yep. So my second event, like third lap, linking the whole track the whole day. Had some other people ride with me. They're like, you just need to go faster and just keep going faster.
It's always the answer, I swear.
So, I mean, obviously, you know, that angle kit was masking a lot of my mistakes I was making, but I also wasn't spinning out all day. I started having fun. I was able to actually drive.
Yeah, it was like a saving grace kind of.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously it did mask a lot of the mistakes, but it helped me drive better. It made it look like I was driving better. Yeah.
Stuff like that.
It helped me spin it out more, and it like kept my confidence level up. Like the more times I linked the track, you know, it just kept.
That's fair.
Just getting better and better, and you know, I mean, that's pretty much where my car's at. I've been drifting about 3 years. I don't get out much, just a handful of times a year when I get time and money, you know.
Yeah.
But
well, how was your first track day then? Because your car was pretty damn set up for the first track day for you, right?
Yeah. Well,
how did yours go then?
Prior to the track day, we never got the electronics situated on the car, so I still had ABS,
fantastic.
And the traction was still there, and the yaw sensors were all still there. So it didn't really slide. It didn't really.
I would assume, yeah.
But the first event we did was like a half and half day, like a half drift, half time attack, like time trials.
Okay. Where at?
Midpond.
Oh,
we did it at Midpond. Yeah, the first one was August last year.
Nice.
And then I don't know. It didn't do too well. I'll say that. Like. It would slide a little bit. Oh, and my handbrake didn't work at all. There was there's nothing. I just pulled. It was nothing.
Yeah. Well, Midpond, you kind of need it. But
so that didn't do so well. But once I figured all that out, then I think the first time I really started to drift was in April, like this past April.
Damn.
Yeah. And I really think I've only got like 12 or 15 laps total around Midpond of drift laps. Yeah.
That's crazy.
But like it's pretty easy to learn on that platform though. On the Infinity, like that, that G35 is real easy to it's easy to handle.
They're cheater cars.
Yeah. It's got decent power, built-in tunes. 280, I think is where it ended.
Yeah.
Dynoed, so it's not terrible. It's
so
pretty
you
good.
dynoed it and stuff.
It's tuned and everything. It's
okay.
ready.
So you tuned out that fucking stupid delay crap.
Yeah. So that's all gone. It's
God,
all
that
just
always
straight.
irritated the piss out of me.
Yeah. So I don't have any of that. But
So when from the first track day to the second, how long was that period?
2 months.
Okay, so that's not too bad.
So we didn't go. Maybe not even. I think the first one was maybe actually July, and then September was the next one. And then December, and then January, and then it's just been every month since then.
And so, which event did you finally get the ABS and all that shit
It was
figured
April.
out?
It's all the way in April.
All the way to
later.
April.
Yeah.
So you wasted all that money on all those events to go and
no,
barely could.
Because I was the one hosting the events and just kind of running the event.
That's fair,
I didn't really.
Fair.
But even then, I don't drive. I'm mostly just walking around talking to people, and
I just want everyone else to have fun.
I'm just trying to have a good time,
Hell yeah! Well, that's
just make sure everyone else is good, and then I'm good.
Yeah,
I'll get my time when I'm ready.
Yeah, I might be the exact
after
opposite.
the car is ready.
Yeah.
When I go to an event, I don't even hardly ever get out my car.
Damn.
Except to change tires.
Dude, literally, I get out just because I'm hot.
Oh yeah, well that happens too. But
I'll do a few laps, and people could just go if their car will take it. They'll just keep going and going, especially at Midpond. Yeah. I'm like, dude, at 4 laps in, I'm sweating my balls off. It's rolling down into my eyes. I'm trying to fucking pick it out.
See,
Hell
AC.
no.
I'll just go with the AC on. We're good.
See, I don't have that luxury.
Yeah, I put my windows down.
That's all I got.
Well, see, last time I did it with the windows down, I clutch kicked into some mud. And it just spun me out off of the track, and the whole car just filled with mud. So I'm not doing windows down anymore.
The first time I ever went to Midpond, my fire extinguisher mount broke, and it snapped off, which was on the side of the trans tunnel. And this the pin comes out and everything, and sprays all over the passenger side of my car. And I just kept going through the run. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was just cloud smoke. Just tire smoke coming into the car, but
effects.
Yeah, and then
I looked over and it was all white. Yeah. I was like, "Oh, that didn't go away." But I thought something fucking exploded in my car. I didn't know what happened.
Well, it kind of did explode.
Yeah, kind of. Whatever. But well, what angle kit did you say you had on your car?
GK Tech Superlux is the V1 though.
Okay, so that's what I had on my car originally.
Yeah, I like the kit, but the problem is now they don't have it. And, they warranty their kits, but, they don't carry it anymore, so they can't do nothing for mine. They're like, oh, well, we can give you the V2.
The V2 low control arm fits with the V1 kit.
Yeah.
Because I had a V2 control arm on the passenger
for
side.
a V2 control arm, and, they're expensive.
Yeah,
parts
they are
pricey.
Expensive. But, so the upper control arm, though, I'm curious about that. Because mine, I'm not trying to talk shit or anything, but, I dropped it on the floor and it bent.
I don't have GK Tech uppers.
Oh, you don't?
I have the Megan
because that was the one
uppers.
downfall of that kit that I did not like.
Yeah,
the
just
uppers,
did
I
the
could
lower
literally
kit.
bend them with my hands, no joke.
Yeah, that's kind of wild.
That's not good.
It was sketch. I bent it back in place after I dropped it and put it back in.
Yeah, and you're like, let's bend this back out and just bolt it up to my car.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Well, what do you have a rear kit in your car then? Or is
no.
Just the basic
just the
arms?
fronts, yeah.
So do you have stock arms in the back then?
Yes.
Oh. Do you have true rear coilovers though?
I don't have coilovers at all, actually.
No way. Why?
Straight cutout coilovers. I don't know. I didn't do it. I didn't buy the car I bought the car like that.
Mm.
And I just, it's either I got to get good ones or I'm not getting them at all.
So it's just cut springs.
It's
That's
just,
fair,
it's not even cut. I just got some tine springs on it.
Okay. Yeah, just like some lower springs.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
It doesn't look
You're
like
eating
it
up
doesn't have
tires left and
coilovers,
right.
But I'm
Screw
not
that.
though. That's the thing. I've really only probably gone through 4 tires.
Damn.
So
I can go all day. Fresh to,
I can drive
drifting.
at Midpond all day on the same, probably 2.
Well, yeah. I mean, not much tires actually touching the roads.
Right.
That dude, I swear to God, once I got my rear arms in the car and you like feel the grip difference.
Yeah, it's like a rocket ship.
Oh my God, it's a completely different car.
See, I do want to do that because there's no grip in that car.
Yeah, there's
Like,
none.
There's nothing.
Yeah,
just
you
ice
like-
skate.
I don't even have to try, and I just turn, and the back end's coming out. Like, I don't have to
Well,
clutch
if you want the cheat code, all you got to do is get true rear coilovers for one, and then you got to get the camber arm and the toe arm. That's all you need, and you'll get whatever alignment specs you need out.
Yeah, it'll be so much faster, and then it'll be predictable in like the transitions and stuff.
Yeah, the transitions.
Your handbrake will be worth the
especially
fuck.
without a. Well, it works now. We got.
Oh no, I'm sure
We're
it
good
locks
now.
very easy. There's no
No.
grip in the rear, but you'll actually be able to use it
Yeah.
because you'll be able to hold and actually.
Well, I'm just gonna get a dual
Pull your-
caliper hydro. This is gonna be the alternative.
Good idea.
Make
What
it
hydro
easier.
are you gonna go with actually? Because with the Z's and the G's, they have all
I don't know.
the hidden reservoir setups and stuff. I did one, but
I don't really care about it if it's hit or not. It
Really?
can be just bare sticking out. I don't care.
oh, I hate that.
I'm just gonna do a chase bait.
Plus, I'm too
Probably.
short, so like if I try and put it on my side, the reservoir's
See,
all in
that's
the way of
what-
the seat.
I got the
and
opposite
I can't
problem.
scoot
I'm just
up.
too tall.
See, man, short problems fucking suck.
That's worse being tall. You know how many cars
That- I
I
don't
wish I
believe
could
that.
get that I could drive?
You can reach so
That I
much shit
can't-
on the top shelf.
I'm aware, but you know how many little things that I can't do? You know, I
Miatas?
can't do Miatas. I can't do S13s. I can barely do BMWs. I can't go go-karting. That's no
Really?
fun.
BMWs?
Yeah.
Dude,
That's
Like, I was
crazy.
gonna buy a 335.
How tall
but
are
I
you?
can't. I'm 6'9".
really?
Dude.
Yeah. So
Wow.
it's
I
a
didn't
problem.
realize that.
Like, with the helmet on in the car, I think I got like a quarter inch. Maybe.
I bet you're dinging
I
your
kind of
fucking
had
head
to
all over the
slunch down a
place.
little bit and open the sunroof.
Are you running a bucket seat in your car?
Stock seat.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man.
What?
You need to get a seat, and you need to get
Yeah, that's like
coilovers,
one of the
and-
main priorities.
and
is
you
get
get
a
some
seat
camber
first.
arms, and your
There's-
car is going to be.
There's lots of
ready to
things
go.
we've been looking into getting, but it's you know, I got the Infinity, and now I have an LS400 that we're building out too. And then
Sick.
apart from that, trying to get another car for grip day.
Wait,
for
the
my
LS?
wife.
You're gonna make the LS400 a drift car?
Yeah,
Ooh,
It's
cool.
gonna
What
be like
transmission are
a-
you gonna put in it?
I'm just gonna leave it auto, weld the diff, but we're gonna use
Why?
it at Midpond as like a rental. type
Oh,
car.
sick!
So to let other people come and use it for
That's a big
I
car for a
wouldn't charge
rental.
hardly. Yeah, but it's reliable. I mean that
That's
one
very
UZ,
true.
I mean
Oh yeah,
it'll just go.
I've always loved those cars. I like big body cars.
I do too. With the weight transferring, swinging them around in turns
Yeah.
too, it's easy.
There's one team that I've seen out at NSS one time. They have all brown cars and then like yellow tint. You know what I'm talking? Have you seen them before?
No, I haven't seen them, but
Okay, well there's like three
Just
of them.
get
They
the
all
picture.
drive Lexuses. They're all like VIP style drift cars.
are they all like the 400s like that?
No, one's IS, one's the LS400, and then I think SC is the other one. But they're all Lexus. They're
Yeah.
all brown.
Yeah,
They all got
look the
3-piece
same.
wheels. They look baller as fuck.
See, I don't think I'm gonna spend the money for 3-piece wheels to make it a drift car though.
I mean, I don't blame you.
No.
Especially with the prices nowadays. But
Yeah.
if you can, fucking do that shit.
Oh, they're
That shit
nice.
was
Don't
hot.
get me wrong. I'd love to have them,
Yeah.
but
What's y'all's favorite wheel?
All right, so I really like. I'm not a real big like real wheel guy, you know.
Okay,
But
that's fine. I
I
don't know.
really like the look of the BBS CH.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
If you know what I'm talking about, they have like a really big center, like a concave wheel. It's like kind of a classic look, you know.
Yeah.
But not like the mesh classic, but
like,
I
I
feel
like
that.
the old
Classic
mesh
race wheel.
BBS ones that came on the BMWs in the 90s.
oh yeah,
I
the
like
style
those a lot.
fives.
Yeah. You can't beat those.
Yeah. I mean, I want to say a T37 just because
Ah,
it's raised, but
so
you know,
basic though.
right? Well, I like minimal design.
That's fair.
And that's a real minimal
That's
look.
fair.
And they look good.
They do.
They're basic, but they look good.
Yeah.
You know.
I want to see it. Somebody needs to do take an actual Graham light and send it off to 3-piece. I want to see someone be stupid enough to do something like
Just
that.
be the first one to do it.
No, absolutely not. I'm not that dumb.
Hey man, some people get those like base model wheels and they'll send them off and get huge
Yeah.
lips on them and stuff. Like,
If
if you look, you might find someone's done it. Maybe.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, since y'all are known for being around Midpond, everyone seems to kind of have like a funny story, crazy story that they've experienced at Midpond.
Well,
You have to
let me
host
just
an
start.
event.
I've only been to Midpond once.
Really?
Yeah, I've only been to Midpond once. So we're about 3 hours south of Midpond.
Okay.
Well, it's south and southeast over in Georgia. But I've only been there
Southeast.
once.
Damn.
Yeah.
What did you think of it then?
Oh, it was awesome, man.
Compared to tracks around.
So, I mean, really the only other tracks I've driven have been like huge skid pads, like, like linear, like that style.
Yeah.
But, no, Midpond was sick, man. It makes you drive good. And, we got like the best of both worlds that day because it rained until like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And then it all dried up and got dry. So we got to like experience Midpond.
Nice.
Mud
Pond.
Yeah. It was super fun. Though.
Even if it's dry, it's still mud pond.
It's
muddy everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was so nice, man. Ken is the man.
Dude,
absolutely,
always.
Yeah.
Everyone says that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
What's y'all's best
Ken-
experience with Ken then?
Well, Ken's the one that gave me the chance to do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. Like I did the 2 or 3 events there before the beginning of the year, and then right before New Year's, he was like, I was doing these monthly, and people weren't really coming, so I said, well, look, let me do a monthly, let me promote as much as I can, and then we'll just run them every month. And then we brought the grip days back too, because I work with a partner who does a grip called Grip Stars.
Yeah.
So we do monthly time attack as well.
Sick.
So
okay.
we brought that little group back to back to Midpond, and those are very consistent, like the same group of people almost every month.
Yeah. Did you ever host an event before Midpond, or did you try to?
No.
So you just went straight to Ken.
No, like I met this one guy a year and a half ago. Turned out to be not a great person to work with, but kind of got it going and was like, look, we should do an event. So we're looking at tracks, and I found Midpond, and it was real. It was easy to get into. I didn't have to pay some big fee to rent the track. It was just a deposit.
How much was it at the time?
To rent the track or for the deposit?
Both.
The deposit's $500.
Okay.
And you just, I guess it really just depends on what
like
kind of event you want to do. But yeah, it pretty much gives you your day, and then everyone who pays, that's a tip. It's his thing. To rent the track is like $35 for the day plus insurance, and it gets pricey. But
damn. Has it always been that price?
I mean, it's a lot cheaper than every other track.
Oh
we've looked into
NSS is like $5 to $7 grand now.
10 to 15 for others too. It gets real pricey.
Dude.
Like AMP, $16,000 on an off-season weekend.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Like I don't expect. How do they think people can come in there and even make?
That's why I talk about events a lot.
They won't even
I
break
know
even.
all these event hosts, they're not making the money people think they are.
No,
there's no fucking way.
No,
and they're all doing it wrong too, because they're all trying to make the events surrounded around the driver, which isn't. That's not what pays the bills.
Right.
They just pay for the track rental. That's it. But
what's the crowd of people that come with it? That helps, too.
What's your thoughts on some of these bigger events that you've seen that you think like you want to get to, or you think these people could do better at, or anything like that?
I'm a little closed off from all that, to be honest. I don't really follow a lot of it. Like I just work too damn much. And then when I'm not working, it's like I got 3 kids, or I'm designing shit, or I'm printing or pressing designs. It's just I don't have time to follow.
Yeah.
It's just people do their thing. I'm glad for them. It's good. I would like to get to that level. That'd be cool. But like, there's a lot of stress that comes with that, and people don't understand what goes into planning an event. Like it's a lot more than just let's just go here today.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot.
So run me through like step by step what it would take to, if someone wanted to go and rent Midpond out for a day and just host one event, or
all they
just
have
wanted
to do is
it
just
for a
call
private
Ken
day.
and just say, hey, let me rent it, and pretty much pay him, and that's all it is on his end.
So you don't have to handle the insurance part. He handles the insurance.
Yeah, he does the policy. You just go through him.
Just hand him money and your signature, and
pretty
that's about
much.
it.
Yeah, so like for a
Damn,
private day,
simple.
you just email him, and
Yeah.
he's going to say, it's going to cost you $500 deposit, and that's the minimum for a private day. So you can have 3 people go out there. It's $500. But so he has
That's
like a
not
Well, they
bad.
still have their driver fee too. on top
right,
of
yeah,
that.
yeah. But if you don't meet the $500 with the driver fee, the price is $500. So the driver fee starts out at
okay.
like $185 per driver, and like as you get more drivers, it gets a little bit
It
cheaper,
gets lower.
Yeah.
but not much. So we went up there. I think we had like 8 of us went up there for a private day.
Yeah.
And I think we paid like $175 a person, and we actually
That's
got our
crazy.
deposit back because it went over that.
Hell yeah.
So it was 8 of us driving out there. We had a bunch of people there just hanging out.
yeah.
We had like full range of the patio, just out there grilling, hanging out.
So after you got the money back, how much did it end up like technically costing each
Oh, but
person?
it was like $175 a driver.
That's honestly not
Yeah.
bad. Just
Yeah,
to
I mean-
have a simple day to yourself.
Yeah, I mean it's a
Yeah.
little
What are you
more
gonna
than a
pay for an
regular
event?
event in Midpond, but you're there with just 8 people. You can drive all day.
Yeah, literally all day.
I mean, even with a lot full of people, there's so many people that just don't drive that much. They're just hanging
Right.
out.
Yeah.
Right.
They just want to be there.
Have you ever had someone come that was like an asshole or like just
See, we haven't had any problems with anyone.
really?
at Midpond,
That's
like, at all.
I've never seen any real bad problems. out of
No,
Midpond.
we've not had anyone. We haven't had to ask anyone to leave. No one's yelling. No drama. Nothing. Never. And you got
Oh,
people
fuck.
who don't even know some of these drivers, and there'll be contact.
Mhm.
You think people might get mad about that, but no one seems to really care.
Yeah,
It is
there's
what it
normally
is.
cooler cars and stuff at Midpond too. I'd say
Sometimes, yeah, yeah. It's a lot of 350Zs and S13s pretty
Yeah.
much all day.
So-
So many VQs.
So what do you do to kind of promote your events yourself?
It's just Facebook and Instagram.
Oh, yeah?
I'll make a flyer, whatever it is, type whatever I want to say about the event, and just share it all over.
Damn.
That's it.
You don't plan on doing like any type of weekly content or anything to kind of help get a little bit more reach or anything like that?
Well, see, I don't so much. It's just a time thing, really. Like I try, but most of the videos and the content my wife does because she does our pictures and
Shout
our media.
out.
Yep. So she does all of our photography, and she's usually putting them on her page.
Oh, okay.
So-
Yeah. So it's still getting out there.
Her reach is getting out there.
There you go. Yeah.
It's going.
She's behind the camera. That's why I'm looking this way. But well, cool. So okay. So why did you want to take the initiative yourself to do these events?
I just really enjoyed the first one that we did. I just it was a good time. My wife was skeptical about it at first, like, oh, it's gonna go racing. You can get hurt or something. But after
Yeah.
that first day that she went there too, she was like, we're good.
Actually,
let's
this
keep
is
doing
kind
it.
of
Let's do
fun.
it."
When are we doing the
Yeah.
next one?
And she enjoyed it. So every month she's looking forward to it too. And so are the kids. My kids are getting into it now, and they just want to go to the track.
How old are your
So-
kids?
8, 5, and 2.
Oh, nice. Have you ever had any issues with the loud cars around them? Or?
They had got some sensory problems, but the
I've always
oldest one
found it
has
interesting.
she's gotten a little bit more used to it. Just
Yeah.
being around it more.
Huh. Because you'll see it, like, I'll go to like LS Fest, for example, that just happened. You'll walk around and you'll see like a dog with
Earmuffs.
earmuffs on, and then you'll see a freshly, I swear to
Yeah,
God, like
baby.
maybe 2 weeks old
Yeah.
baby just sitting in a stroller, nothing on their ears.
Yeah, just chilling.
The fucking LS is screaming 2 feet away from them.
Okay.
Just
That's
crazy.
bedtime sounds. What do you mean?
Yeah, there you go. Start them young. Hell yeah. Well, what's so have you ever done any like comp type events? Or just
I
fun?
did one in
How did that go?
June. It was okay. I was trying to do it as like a
Doesn't
2-day
sound too-
thing, like one skill level drivers one day, one the next day.
Okay.
Well, no one signed up for the higher skill level day, like at all.
Why do you think?
People,
Just-
well, because I had prizes. I had cash prize, like we put up money,
No way.
some merch, some other things, and so everyone signed up for like the amateur day. So I had
What the
just
fuck?
one day. It was just all over amateur class, but
Yeah.
2 people came that shouldn't have been in amateur league at all.
Yeah.
Cabot Cardoso.
Oh,
He's got
okay. Yeah.
that- yeah, and Austin East.
Mhm.
So they kind of just did their own thing, and I let them do a couple of little battles against each other, and they got their own little prize.
Oh,
because they were just.
damn.
I mean,
that sucks.
it wouldn't have been fair, honestly,
Yeah.
if they were against the other people. So
that's kind of what happened.
Kind of just
with,
let them do their
Scott
thing.
Recently, one of the 245 comps Riverside was doing. It was like a 3-day long event, but like the first 2 days were fun days, and then Sunday was supposed to be the comp. Literally, dude, by the time the comp was supposed to start, there was like 4 drivers. I was like, how the fuck? He was like, Scott, I guess you won. You're the last one here. I don't know. Whatever. So that sucks, though. Do you ever plan on doing another one?
Yeah. So next season coming up. Well, for that one that we did, I had Andy Hardy come out from Clarksville Drift.
Nice.
And he helped me run a little bit. And then we got to talking during that day, and got a whole series we're going to try to do next year, like a feeder series into East 10. So like the winner can get Pro-Am license and be able to drive in East 10, like a paid entry into East 10.
Yeah, I've seen multiple people doing that now. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. So how did y'all run the comp at Midpond? Like, did y'all just have a few corners y'all were running?
So we did it. All right. So the back straight.
Yeah.
All right. So we did it reverse, starting on the back straight.
I want to drive
coming
reverse.
around.
I never have driven Midpond.
And it was
reverse.
the first. Reverse is totally different.
Oh, I'm sure.
The whole track is not the same. That's how I messed my car up, going reverse. And I'm not doing it anymore.
Fair enough.
We just started them all on the back straight, and it was the first, that turn on that corner. The inside sweeper turn. Mm-hmm. Then that one, I guess that real tight hairpin by the pond.
Yeah, yeah.
And then around.
Yeah. So they came around that back corner, and then they did that hairpin.
Yeah, so it was like a 4-turn zones, I guess.
And they kind of ended so did they end before the pond? Or
no,
was that
after
part
the
of
pond.
Okay,
ended after the, where you enter and exit.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
That was that last
right there.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty much the whole
It was a
track.
little different.
Yeah. For the most part. Damn, okay.
And we just had a couple people sitting in a little tree stand out there so they can, those were the judges.
Oh, hell. Just put them up high somewhere, whatever.
Yeah. Let someone else judge it too, because I don't want to be,
you don't want to hear
I don't want to, I don't want nothing to do with it. Right. So I had Andy and his friends do it.
So what were some main things that Andy kind of shed some light on for hosting events? Because he's pretty good at hosting events.
He's pretty good at what he does, definitely. So working with him next year is going to help a lot to get more into the comp. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. That's the first thing. I'm like, well, let's just try it. Why not? So
cars, track, what could go wrong? I don't know.
People want to drive. People like free money,
Yeah.
I just went with it. I just tried. It was worth the shot.
Yeah. How much was the grand prize, by the way?
Well, it was only $300.
Hey, that's still
and a trophy and
some at the time. I'm sure that was
from
like
other companies,
enough for a set of tires.
It was like 300 for each class.
Oh, sick.
So.
Okay.
I mean, it's something.
I would have made it.
It's not a lot,
200 and 400, but whatever.
Whatever.
Just like,
but it ended up not being anything for the other class because there was only 2 people. I was like, look,
fair enough.
Look, it's just y'all 2. I was like, I don't really have a cash prize to give y'all since it's just y'all 2.
Yeah.
Because I was kind of basing it off of if everyone signed up too, like if it filled up. And I went out for a lot, 16 a day. That's all I was looking for. I ended up with 14 total. So, it was a little odd to run it because it was an odd number for, after the brackets broke down, but
give somebody a buy.
It out. Yeah, someone got a buy. But whatever, it worked out.
Toss for it, whatever. Pull names out of the hat, something. Fuck it.
Well, I just based it off of who would probably win against someone else. So I just let that other guy get the buy. Just to give him another little shot. That works too.
Yeah.
Like, I would hate to go to a comp in my very first run. Done. That's it. I'm out.
Yeah, and then
that's
you
a bummer.
sit out and watch the whole
I know that's part of it. Like, that's the reality of it. But, like, it's still a bummer.
Oh, yeah. Dude, that's why I can't do comps. I won't. Refuse
I won't personally do a comp.
I just have too much of a competitive, nature. I'll get into it.
I'll crush it.
I'll get fucking pissed if I lose.
I'd probably hit somebody.
Yeah, I just don't
know if I go that far.
I don't mean physically hit. I mean
maybe
I would want to
be
be as close as I could, and I would probably hit somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think I'm that good, man. And I just want to drive.
No, that too. I definitely don't think I'm that good.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to pay more money to go do a competition when I could pay less and drive all day long.
Yeah,
I would just pay the extra money for comp and just go to those camp drift and those days.
Yeah. Dude, I'm traumatized from my first like comp experience. Have y'all heard? Did y'all hear that story on the pod?
I mean, I'm sure I've had it if you heard it.
Oh yeah,
times.
first lap, dude, it was great. It was like straight up. It was the first DK comp that Clarksville ever did, ever. It was battles. We pulled names out of the hats. You know, I got this dude with the red Corvette. I had tandemed with him a couple times. Yeah. And so somehow we got first fucking battle. All right, whatever. And then coin toss to see who gets to choose if they want to lead or chase first. And he won the coin toss and picked leading first for some reason. Don't know why. But he, you know how the Clarksville setup is. Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, all right, I guess it's cool. You gave me the best part.
Doesn't Clarksville kind of start at the top and have like a big drop?
Yeah, the way we were running it for that comp was you started at the top of the hill, came down, and then you went into the figure eight. And then there's that barrel at the bottom. So his car is faster than mine, of course. And then I was trying to catch up once we were coming down the downhill, and he made it around the cone, but like he kind of booted the cone. So I was handbrake pulling, trying to make it around, and then he booted it. So I clutch kicked and tried to catch up. As soon as I clutch kicked, dude, he parks it right in the middle of the track, which we were totally cool. It was totally fine. But
you were committed.
Yeah, there was no stopping the car at that point.
Yeah.
So traumatized for my comp experiences and never going to do that. But
maybe one day you can go back and do it.
I doubt it. No, I doubt it. Yeah. Someone wants to loan me a car to go do it. Sure.
There you go.
But now that it's so much fucking money in that thing, no, it's pointless.
It's like seeing some of those people drift with Skylines. I just don't see why.
I mean, they're
there's
great
so much
cars.
money into those cars. I couldn't.
Yeah,
I couldn't.
I think the motor gets a bad rep.
Put that kind of car on a track.
Well, you got to take one that's already kind of had a little love.
There's these two guys that come out. One's got an R32.
The purple one?
No, it's all silver.
Oh,
straight silver. And another guy's got a gold Supra. And I just don't see why
those
they
guys
would be out
are
there
wild.
drifting it.
Yeah.
I guess they got it like
Crazy.
that, though, man.
Yeah, if you got it, so be it. I made my own little great value version Skyline.
I'll take it. I'd rather crash that than crash anything else.
Yeah, and front's all tube front, so I can just remake it if I need to,
Minimal.
Exactly.
It's not too bad.
Shit. So, with your event hosting, I know you mentioned that you wanted to kind of venture, not necessarily away from Midpond, but to some other tracks and stuff.
Yeah.
What are your plans? What kind of tracks are you trying to go to? What's
it'll
the
be
idea?
Cool. So next year it's Midpond, Clarksville, Silver Dollar, and hopefully Driven Luck. I've spoke with them a little bit about it, a couple of weeks or like a month or two ago.
They're very laid
they
back.
Just started.
You can hit them up whenever, I'm sure.
Right. I can only hope because that looks like a pretty good little track too.
Yeah, and they're in a very like good situation right now. They're paying for the track themselves.
Yeah.
Like they're not going to be renting anything. They just have to worry about the necessities of like what you need to have to run an event. Yeah. And they're golden after that. So I think that's going to be a track that would be very prime location.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It'll probably be around for a while too.
It's not that far away either.
Yeah.
It's like 2 hours, I think, from where we're at. So it's not even that bad of a drive.
And it's ran by people that actually give a shit about drifting. So it's very drift dedicated.
Makes it worth it.
Yeah. So we'll run through some, I guess, how many, you're planning on doing at these other tracks, stuff like that.
Well, I'm not sure. Just because like every month I'm doing something at Midpond. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if I'm trying to do some more in between or if I'm going to take time off from Midpond and just skip, like do Midpond 1 month, go somewhere else.
What are you leaning towards
somewhere else
as of right now?
After. To do that pretty much, like have Midpond do like every 3 months or something, or every other month, and then get a different track in between.
Have a fill in.
Yeah.
Okay. What track are you trying to venture to more for those fill-ins? Because I would personally say Clarksville's cool, but like it's the same fucking shit over and over again. That's the only thing you're gonna run into with Clarksville. And they're not gonna put the money into it.
It's I gotta start somewhere. So
well, of course,
go Clarksville. I talked to one of the guys that does the North Florida Drift Federation thing.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
I talked about maybe doing a comp over there with him at Five Flags. So I don't know. It's kind of just whatever track is gonna allow us to do it. Really, I mean, that's really what it comes down to.
Dude, I hate
Because a
that.
lot of these tracks are going kind of private now, where they want to do their own,
Yeah.
and they're not really wanting people to come
hate
and
that shit,
host their
dude.
own
Fuck
thing.
that.
So
Because
Yeah.
I think that event hosts should like almost team up because there's becoming
Right.
too many events that
right,
drifters are almost spoiled now, where they're like they have to choose between which events to go to.
that's a problem too. Like a lot of events are on the same weekends as other
Yeah.
events, and it becomes a battle of like, well, which one am I going to go to, or
Mhm.
you know,
How have you worked around that?
I
Just
just
winging it.
let it ride. Yeah,
Just
I just
wing
let it go.
it.
I mean, people are going to show up. It's Midpond. People want to drive Midpond. All the
that
time.
that is a good thing to have.
Like,
Because Midpond
it's-
is just one of those places.
I think the lowest day we've had was like 20 drivers.
Oh,
So
wow.
I mean, it's not.
That's
not
still a
bad. They're,
good
they're
amount,
good.
yeah.
Every weekend, it's pretty good.
What's the most amount of
42?
drivers?
We did 42 in
God,
April,
I bet y'all was packed in
and
there.
then
like crazy.
last weekend we had 39.
Damn.
So like it gets
It stays consistent.
It gets
Like, folks
tight.
parked
Like
on the
they've
street,
been
man.
Well, yeah, I've
Yeah.
been there when that's
Yeah.
happening. That's
Yeah.
We
sketchy.
had-
Hitting on the street.
like a mile of cars, probably almost a mile down of just spectators parked, because we had like 60 or 70 people out there spectating too.
Oh my god.
So
Yeah,
like
that's a bunch of folks.
parking is an
Yeah.
issue, a big issue there.
yeah.
But I mean, he makes it work.
I don't
mean,
know how he does. I've talked about it
'cause
plenty of times.
Because
He's
he
like,
kind of has to. He don't really have a choice. You know,
yeah.
they just-
I bet he's amazing at Tetris. I'm serious,
Yeah,
dude.
you know, I mean, I think part of that makes Midpond even more special, though. Like, it makes,
yeah.
like, everyone's right there on top of each other. Like, you
Right.
don't have a choice but to talk to each other,
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
as opposed to
it
going to a
creates
huge
a
place.
real sense of like a community.
Right.
With,
Yeah.
you know, when it's like that.
You think that's what kind of sets apart from other tracks?
Probably like that track has got a whole different. I'm sure it's a whole different vibe than everywhere else.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, it is. It's so
it's
laid
like
back.
it's like a laid back. It's laid back, but it's like a party. you
It's
know?
all
It's
because
like-
of Ken, though. It's just
Yeah.
Right.
he's just the most relaxed track owner I've ever seen.
I mean, he's inside half the time. He don't even.
Yeah.
It was
he's
like,
just sitting
"Yeah,
there
let me
hanging
know if
out."
anything bad happens.
Yeah.
If the cops get
Pretty
called, I
much.
guess let me know.
That's pretty much how he lets it do. Like he'll
Slip a
he'll
note
come
under
out,
my
he'll
door.
do his little drivers meeting in the morning, and then he just disappears.
That's
And
so
he'll walk
funny.
around a little bit, talk to some people, and then that's it. He disappears again.
Yeah.
Take his car out for a lap.
Nah, he hasn't done that yet.
I was up there for one of your
He had his little
events.
Ford out there. One
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Oh
that's what I'm
yeah.
talking about. Yeah.
He has a little 32 Ford.
It's like a hot rod.
A little-
That
yeah.
thing's tight.
Yeah,
You-
was
you
on the
haven't seen
track.
it?
I haven't seen it in person.
I think
no.
he has pictures of it on his Facebook, on Ken's Facebook.
Hmm.
It's like a little
I'll have to
blue
go
hot
check it out.
rod.
Yeah, little flames on it and
Yeah,
everything.
Thing's tight.
Shit.
Yeah.
All right. So, have you ever been to any events at Clarksville or any of these other tracks, or you
I
just
haven't
kind
yet.
of just
Like I
reaching
said, I
out to
just
them?
kind of jumped into it, and then it's been Midpond for a year. I haven't gone anywhere else. Import Alliance here and there for the drifting, but
yeah.
that's it.
Well, all right. So then, what is your kind of game plan for future? Where are you trying to grow this thing to, or is this just something you're just doing just for hobby reasons or whatever? it
I
is?
mean, I really kind of just enjoy doing it. I'm not gonna lie, like
there's no like real goal to it. At
not
all?
entirely.
Any hope?
I mean, it would be great to be able to do an event like every other weekend, traveling around doing them.
hmm
That'd be my job, you know. That's what I do. That would be
Yeah.
ideal, but you know,
Have you turned any profit at all from any of them?
yes.
If you don't want to talk about it, you don't
yeah.
have to. But
It's I don't know. It's like a give and take because I have a partner.
Yeah.
So like all of our profits are based off of how both days perform.
okay,
So like if one is not so great, then that leaves a negative balance going into
Yeah,
the
of
following
course.
day.
So y'all kind of
So-
like splitting profit is how y'all doing it,
Yeah.
basically
Yeah.
like right down
And-
the middle.
and y'all are like
Yeah.
splitting costs as well up front.
Yeah, everything everything is pretty much a split. So
Okay, so how much does it normally cost you to run one of these events entirely?
well, a weekend, a 2-day rental, doing how we do it, you know, one drift day,
Yeah.
one time attack day, with the truck rentals and insurance, it's $7,200
Like
for the
all
weekend.
in all,
all in. So
it's not as bad as I
it's
expected.
not bad,
really.
but you know, the grip days are cheap to drive.
Yeah.
So, you know, you need like 35 people out there to make that day even.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just...
I bet it's hard to pull 35.
It's, I mean, 25 to 30 is where it's at every time. So it's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, at least
breaking
it's
even
consistent.
on
It's pretty much a break even every time for the
So
most part.
over a year
Yeah.
span, if you calculate it all together,
Oh,
you win some, you lose
we
some.
might
it's
not even
probably
be up
breaking.
then. If
Not
you,
even
if it's
breaking
factored
even?
in like that. Yeah, because only some, like, yeah, you think, oh, well, profit, but like, it's very minimal.
Yeah.
It's very minimal.
Dude, every event
Like, I'll
host
make
I
more
talk
money
to, I
selling
swear.
merch than I will off of track profits. So we'll just put it that way.
That's so wild.
Yeah.
I don't understand how event hosts do it. I
No,
couldn't
I don't
do
You
it.
gotta, you gotta have a passion for it. I think you
It-
just have to want to
absolutely.
do it.
I mean,
And I
be
really
stressed
do
out.
just
Like,
want to do it.
I mean, I would be stressed out putting all that money up and just praying. That
Oh,
people
it's-
are gonna
yeah.
come,
It's
you know?
stressful.
That's
It's
a lot
definitely
of
stressful.
like that's a good amount of money to just
Yeah,
gamble.
it's
with.
not cheap. But like,
Ugh.
it's
Especially to
drifting.
not even drive
What
it.
part of drifting is
Fuck,
cheap,
man.
though?
You don't even get to enjoy it driving it.
I mean, I enjoy it. I get my
Well,
enjoyment
yeah,
out
yeah,
of it. You know, I drive sometimes. It's just, but you know, now that I don't have a car,
yeah.
it's just a hurdle to get over.
Damn. So you're gonna bring when's the car supposed to come back then? Or you hope to have it back?
Well, it needs a new engine, so that's supposed to get picked up next week. So I'm hoping to have it back by the end of October.
Okay.
So, and we don't have
Yeah.
an event in October. We're gonna go to theirs on the 14th and 15th. But
Cool.
apart from that, we don't have our own. So
Yeah.
we were gonna do Import Alliance, and that's kind of still up in the air. So I don't know.
Import Alliance is fun.
And
but
yeah, we're gonna go to the one in Kentucky.
that's stressful.
Yeah. Well, we wouldn't be driving in it, but
Mm.
you know, with my little company, I have like a little team of drivers, like a little sponsored team driver list.
Sick. Okay.
And we were all going to just go to Import Alliance together.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Get everyone, just go get a big Airbnb, just
Yeah.
have a weekend, you know.
Yeah, just hanging
Mini
out.
vacation.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Probably still will, but we're just not going to
Yeah.
drive it anymore.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I guess tell me about this silver dollar stuff, because I know I've posted on my stories about it a couple of times, and it seems to be getting some good reactions out of people. So what do y'all
Yeah.
think about it?
So, about a year ago, there was word that they were going to start building a road course,
Mhm.
dedicated just for drifting. You know, possibly later, maybe doing go-karts on it or something as well.
Yeah.
But mainly just drifting. And about that time, they also had a large parking lot paved. You know, fresh asphalt. It's pretty big. But they started running skid pad days out there.
Mhm.
And so this was like last May. And so they were trying to like, you know, see how much like traction drifting could get in that area. So I guess Silver Dollar, that's in Reynolds, Georgia, just by the way. It's
Mhm.
kind of out in the middle of nowhere, dead center between Columbus, Georgia and Macon, Georgia.
For reference, how close to Lanier? I know you said it off
All
camera.
right, so from Lanier, it might be about 2 hours south of Lanier. Central Atlanta, it's like an hour and a half from Central Atlanta.
Okay.
Just straight south.
Yeah, yeah.
So, anyways, so they started doing these skid pad days out there.
Mhm.
Just kind of gaining traction. I think they had 5 events last year. And then,
Did they see some decent success out of those, or? what?
yeah, so the first one, I can't remember how many cars were there, but there was a lot.
Mhm.
I mean, a whole lot of cars. So that event,
Usually the first one.
yeah, you know, it was a new place. Everyone was stoked. They're like, oh, like new place to drift, you know.
Yeah.
So that day they also had a drag event because Silver Dollar Motorsports Park is a 1/4 mile drag strip.
Mhm.
So when they did that, they actually had to put a wall up on the road that runs beside the skid pad, just because the drag racers would be coming up that road. So we had to
Okay.
enter at a different part of the skid pad. It was still super fun. Just like a really technical track, like a lower speed. But then the second event and all the ones after that, we were actually entering on the road that those drag racers were using. And most people were seeing, 50 to 70 to 80 mile an hour entries into this skid pad. And,
The fucking parking lot.
yeah. I mean, pretty much. But, that was pretty quick for, a parking lot.
Yeah, yeah.
But so there was a lot of people at that event too.
It's like the Smoky Stadium events. You
Where's
can
that?
get up in, I think, Knoxville, technically. It's a pretty big like parking lot, and it's just
It's
they just
huge.
do a big figure
It's
eight
huge.
basically, yeah, and it's like 80-mile-per-hour figure eight.
Yeah, nice.
So yeah, that's what I resemble it to.
Yeah. So like back to these events they were having as it went on, no, there was less attendance to the skid pad events. And then 2023 rolls around and there's been nothing at all. And here we are, it's middle of
crazy.
September.
Yeah.
And there hasn't been
Season's
an event
almost
yet.
over.
Right. So so
do you know their reasoning for why they haven't done one this year?
no.
No?
Um
Why is that? Or they just
I'm not really sure. I mean, possibly. I don't even know. I mean, they just
wouldn't even know where to go.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't had any. So I'm with a group called Fallline Drift.
Mhm.
So we're pretty new, and most of us are all of us are from Columbus, Georgia.
Yeah.
And so that track is 45 minutes from us. So all year we're like, when they going to do it again? Like when they're going to have another event? Because it was cool driving 45 minutes to go drive to street your car there, and then you're back home by like 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know. But so then, it must have been early August, possibly late July. Can't exactly remember when, but the owner of Silver Dollar Motorsports Park, he did like a little live stream just talking on Facebook.
Yeah.
And it had been like week after week after week of his drag events getting rained out.
That sucks.
Yeah, I mean, he was maybe not upset. I don't know how you'd explain it, but like it was bothering him, you know. And
yeah, of course.
enough for him to go live and talk about it. And then during all that, he started talking about the drift track.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the first anyone's heard about it in almost a year is when he went live on that.
Yeah.
And
solve a lot of problems.
yeah, and that's what he was saying. He was like, we're thinking about doing this drift track still. And the drifters, if it rains, they're still going to come out and drive.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we saw that, we pretty much like our little group of guys that go drive together to like at events. Event happens, we all go up there together.
Yeah.
We started talking, and we were like, "Well, let's put like a little team together and see if we can't help him out." That's Silver Dollar.
Help push us a little bit.
Right. So I mean, we got it together fairly quickly. We met with him in person, and he's going to bring drifting back to the skid pad. And so Reynolds is going to be hosting these events,
Mm-hmm.
and we're just offering, we're pretty much volunteering to help him run the events.
Yeah. How often are you trying to host the events?
So right now, his schedule is booked out on the drag strip for the rest of the year. So you can run them in conjunction at the same time, but like
Just
I said,
odd layout.
yeah, well, it's kind of the same layout. You just lose that fast entry.
Yeah.
Like the waiting and grid time is longer when the
Mhm.
drag days are going on. So we kind of want to stay away from. Well, he wants to stay away from doing that just so people can have a better time driving.
Yeah.
And so he's booked out the rest of the year, but hopefully, beginning of next year, he'll have a full schedule, and he can find weekends here and there to do some dedicated drift days out there.
Is there good like spectating spots out there? Because since it's just a skid pad.
Yeah, so they have it's kind of hard to explain. Maybe I can get you some like overhead shots of everything.
Mhm.
But so where the skid pad is, there's also like a small like grass field like right across from the skid pad, and they have like a big concession building right there and stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's usually where there'll be the spectators and stuff, and he'll set up like bleachers over there and stuff.
Yeah.
So they have like a full view of the skid pad.
Does the layout run near the spectators? Because I've
Yes,
always found
I
that to
mean-
be very important for drift events.
So I want to say, so the road that you drive on, where you enter into the skid pad, there might be like 40 feet of grass, and then there would be the bleachers right there.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's pretty close.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, a lot of the people taking pictures and videos and stuff, they would be there.
Oh yeah.
And but I mean, it's all pretty close.
Cause like I think like Jersey, New Jersey, E-Town, their track just gets a lot of spectators and stuff just because of the way the track is. Like
Right.
you got both sides just full bleachers where you can see everything.
Yeah.
And the cars are actually coming up right by where the bleachers are.
Yeah.
So
It's very similar.
yeah, there's plenty of people to like stay in it and like actually cheer you on, slapping the walls, stuff like that,
Yeah.
which is obviously that's a little dangerous
Yeah.
sometimes. But you know, having that media zone of the track, I think, is very important and really pulls a lot of people in.
Right. Yeah, so the way the skid pad's also, like the way it's set up, you have like a big portion of the skid pad, and there's a small, it's about 30 feet wide,
Mhm.
connecting a big skid pad and a smaller one, and in between that's a grass section. So the track owner will let some media go out there like into that part, because it's
Mhm.
technically like part of like a hot track, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But he'll let them go out there, and it's like right in the middle of the skid, like the two skid pads. you
Better
know?
let people go out there.
Huh?
Better let people go
Yeah.
out there. Especially like that. That's one. Since I do media and stuff, I've finally gotten like open to that world. If a track is very strict on where you can go as a media person, that pisses me off so fucking much.
Yeah.
I cannot stand that. Like, I understand you got insurance to deal with, but like, I'm already signing your waiver. Let me go where I want to get my shot and just leave it alone. Like that.
Yeah.
It's very simple. A lot of bigger events are like that.
Yeah.
In Salem, for Riverside events, dude, I can go anywhere.
That's like
Anywhere I
cool.
want in that track.
Yeah.
Nobody says a fucking word.
Yeah, you just put a vest on and go.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're having, or Silver Dollar's throwing this event coming up, and hopefully next year we'll have more. But so all the funds he's making after he covers the cost of operating the drift day, all of it's going directly towards the drift track.
Nice.
So he has like some other plans and stuff to try to get some more money for it, but he is for it, and he understands that getting that drift track could be a very steady like source of income for his
Mhm.
track. I mean, this is what he does. I mean, he's a track owner, you know. He wants to see his track stay open. But he
Yeah.
understands that if he has that, you know, people are going to come. And
So how much of an investment is he looking at to get this road course done then?
so when we talked to him, he was estimating around 400,000 to get the whole track paved.
Damn.
Yeah. So the whole road course is about it's like right at a mile long.
Uh-huh.
I'll give you some pictures and you can
Yeah, we'll throw them up
yeah,
there and stuff.
Yeah, you can put them up on the screen and let people take a look at them. But it's a fairly good sized track. We went out there and measured it all the other day. It's 30 feet wide, like minimum. Some of the turns were 35 feet wide.
Fuck yeah.
And he has plans to, you know, make some of the turns just a little bit wider, you know.
Mhm.
But I mean, it's a good sized track. It's not super huge like, you know, like Road Atlanta or something like
Oh,
that.
yeah. Yeah.
But I think it'll have a really good feel to it. It's
Okay.
not going to be so tight where it's mega sketchy, but it's going to be tight enough where it's going to keep you on your toes. You can stack cars up in there.
So okay, run me through like what your idea of what would probably be the most like fluent track layout to do there, because I know there's a lot of cut throughs. Or going to be a lot of cut throughs where you could run multiple layouts and stuff like that. Which one are you kind of seeing to be the best option?
What do you mean?
So like if we're looking at the layout of the
Okay,
track,
yeah.
and let's say, obviously you probably wouldn't run the entire track for a layout, right?
Oh, why not? You can get out there and hot
That's
lap the whole
long,
track.
a mile long track.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a thing. Y'all are gonna do the full track length of events, or hoping to.
Yeah, hoping to.
Okay.
You know, get out there, do a few hot laps.
Well, let's
Car starts
say
getting hot, you can hop off.
that's fair.
I mean, you know, some places like Lanier. Have you ever been to an event
Oh,
in
yeah.
Lanier? And they do like the hot lap days and stuff.
hmm
So I mean, you can get out there, run 6 to 8 laps, and just car starts getting hot. I mean, that's probably a couple miles, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. That's fair.
But
well, so like for let's say it's a beginner day or something, and
Okay.
you wanna make sure to section off a part of the track for the experienced guys, so they can just go out there and get seat time all day, and then section off another part of the track for beginners. Would y'all do it that way, or would you just use like the skid pad for the beginners?
yeah, so we really haven't. I mean, the course is not done yet.
Well,
You
yeah,
know,
of course.
So when you post a picture of this course, you'll be like, people will be able to visualize it. But one of the options also to not save on money, but to get something there sooner is to pave a portion of the track. And the track does like the finished track does have plans to have a bunch of cut throughs to change layouts and stuff. But absolutely, I mean, if you had a big track day and the full track was done, you could have a group of people on one side of the track, another group of people on the other side of the track.
Mm-hmm.
And if there wasn't a drag day, or maybe even if there was a drag day, you could have a donut place on the skid pad, like people learning how to do donuts and figure eights and things like that.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah, I think to start though, obviously paving the whole thing right off the bat would be
Pretty penny.
optimal. Well, I mean, that would
it'd
be
be
the
the
best.
ideal position. to be
But if
in.
he can get enough money to just pave like 2/3 of the track.
Yeah.
Um,
So you were telling me kind of what part of it. So let's I'll throw a picture on the screen. Act as if we're sitting here looking at the actual picture. What section of it would you can pull your phone out if you want to.
One of the options, so I guess first off, there's like a water runoff that runs through a portion of the track
Mm-hmm.
that will have to be, have to bury some culverts there and have some water diversion and stuff to make it so the track can go over that, which will be even more money to do something like that.
Yeah.
But if he looped it before that, you'd have about 2/3 of the track, and it would be, I mean, you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 turns in 2/3 of the track. And
A lot of turns.
yeah, it's a lot of turns, and I mean, it's a fairly large track. But,
So what would you say the average like speed going through the entire course will be? I know there's obviously going to be some fast turns, but
let me see.
what would your guess? Just
What you think? Maybe, I don't know, maybe anywhere from 35, 45 miles an hour.
okay. So pretty
Yeah, I mean,
technical, more or less.
yeah, I mean, there might be some spots. There's like some straights in there if they do the full course, and you could probably like come in hammering on your car and get it real quick.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be fairly similar to Midpond, but just bigger,
A lot wider
just
and stuff. Yeah.
just blown out. A little bit faster, a little bit wider. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But I mean, I think it'll be not super slow, but
Okay.
I mean, I think some of these higher horsepower guys that are all gripped up, I think they can really be scooting through there.
Mm-hmm. So do you see any hopes for like once it's finished and like it's got a little bit of a reputation or something, maybe got plenty of bleachers and stuff for spectators, do you think an FD event or something like that could be possible at a track like this? Or is it going to be big enough?
I mean, I think it'd be possible they could have some competitions there.
Probably not fast enough of a track.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be big enough and fast enough for like FD level.
Okay.
I mean, those guys are driving like Road Atlanta and
Yeah.
like huge, super fast tracks.
What about like a Clutch Kickers Riverside Drift style series?
Absolutely,
Be about perfect.
Absolutely. I
Damn.
never went to Emerald Coast, but parts of this track give off heavy Emerald Coast vibes.
Emerald Coast, I would actually compare it to Midpond
Really?
very well. The
Okay.
width of the track, like it was maybe 5 feet wider than Midpond's track after they extended it in
Mhm.
areas. But yeah, that was a great track. I absolutely loved Emerald Coast.
Yeah, we were actually making plans to go down there, and then a few months later,
Damn,
gone.
that sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I went down I think it was the second year they were doing it. They had a fun day.
Yeah.
And boy, was it hot that day. Fuck.
Yeah, it's like right there by the beach too, man.
Yeah, you're pitting in the sand and shit. The Florida sun just bakes you.
Yeah.
That was a weird experience though, because I stayed at a condo at the beach and like nowhere to park your trailer. Luckily, the condo that I was at, there was another condo next to it, and then they owned this empty lot that had one gate that was open. They were like, just go park it down there. We're not gonna tell anyone. Just leave it there for the 2 nights that you're here. Right. And it was cool as fuck. I got a picture of it. If I can find it, I'll throw it up there. But it's truck and trailer, race car, beach view in the back. I'm like, dude, I'll never see this again. This is crazy. So what? You don't have anything like secretive, I guess, about the track that you could share?
No, man. So we're just trying to
grungy details.
No, I mean, we're just trying to be as open as possible. I mean, I've told you roundabout what they think the cost is going to be. Well, I say the cost. He's
that's hard to estimate, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, but he's consulted with like paving companies, and I mean that's a pretty solid number.
Yeah,
but I mean, we just want to be as open with everybody. At this event that we're having, it's going to be October 14th and 15th. The Silver Dollar's having down there. I mean, we want to get everyone that wants to walk over to the road course to put their feet on the road course and look at it for themselves. Walk around the whole road course.
And that means post a picture of it, tag them, make sure it's getting its
But we just, I mean, the main thing, I mean, we just want a place to drive that's local, that's not 3 hours away from us. We want Silver Dollar Motorsports Park to stay open.
Yeah.
And we want, you know, I mean, we want the money from that road course to help them stay open.
Okay.
You know what
so
I mean?
what kind of goal do you need to hit for this first event in order to kind of set that tone into place?
I don't really have an answer for that.
Not a certain amount of people or anything like that?
No, I mean, I think the biggest thing is we're just trying to bring the exposure back to Silver Dollar Motorsports Park. Since they haven't had a drifting event in like a year. I mean, I think most people just kind of figured, oh, well, the road course is not happening. It's done.
Yeah.
They're not even doing events on the skid pad anymore. When we first, you know, put our little team together and made a Facebook page, you know, it gained a fair bit of traction in the first couple days. I mean, nothing crazy. We only have like a few hundred like people following it. But when we posted the picture of like an aerial shot of what, you know, like a graded road course, and, you know, pretty much said that it's still in the works. I mean, that blew up.
Yeah.
You know, like absolutely blew up. I mean, it seems like everyone's excited, you know. Yeah, but we just want to see the track stay open. We just want to have a place for us to drive, for everyone else to drive, you know.
Yeah. And you said what the nearest track is 3 hours. Which one is that?
Yeah, so from Columbus, like the nearest track would be, Caffeine and Octane Lanier.
Yeah.
Okay. Up in Brazelton, it's right at 3 hours away. And then you have Midpond, which is right at 3 hours away.
And those are the only other two? Relatively close?
Yeah, I mean, that I'm aware of, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
So how far have you traveled for an event?
So my first bunch of events, they were all at Lanier. I mean, when I started, I didn't really know of a lot of other places. But, so, I mean, you know, you got 6 hour drive time to the track and back home every time I went and drove.
Yeah.
And then we went to Midpond earlier this year, and that was same deal. But every time we've drove that wasn't at Silver Dollar was at least 3 hours.
Dude, that sucks.
Yeah.
And that's because I feel like Atlanta, that's a big, decent sized drift scene. I would say.
Yeah. I mean, and you know, what Caffeine and Octane is doing is great. I mean, they have drifting every other Friday.
I'm glad they ventured into drifting and not just that silly car show every. I'm sorry, but it's a bunch of old heads and it just gets annoying.
Yeah, I mean, but they're doing their thing and they're making it work. Yeah. And they still have drifting at the racetrack, which is awesome.
Yeah,
I think it's still a place to drift. You know, I think it was a little bit of a concern when they bought the track. Like, no one knew what was going to happen when they bought the track.
Well, yeah.
And then they were like, all right, yeah, we're still doing drifting. Everyone was, let's go.
A+ in my mind.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how many people go, like, are at those Friday night drifts when they do them, but I know there's constantly people out there doing it.
Yeah.
But but having Reynolds being 45 minutes down the road, that's Silver Dollar Motorsports Park.
Mhm.
It was tight, man. All of us were stoked. We got up late,
Yeah.
but still super early. But we weren't getting up at 5 and leaving at 5 in the morning to go to the track.
Yeah.
We all linked up at 8 o'clock and we were like, all right, let's street our cars out there and go drive.
Shit. Cowboys.
Yeah.
Well, do you have any idea of what like ticket pricing and stuff will be compared to what it used to be?
Yeah.
Economy
So
and shit, man, I'm sure it's going up.
So when they were doing it last year, I'm not exactly sure like the back end of everything, like the costs of insurance and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But all the skid pad events they were having were right around or just a little bit less than $100 for the day.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. And then so this one that they're hosting in October, the 14th and 15th, is going to be a Saturday and Sunday, and they're doing $150 for both days or $100 for one day.
That's fair. Yeah.
And we felt like that was pretty on par with what was happening before.
Yeah.
And buy one get one half off. If you want to come down.
Pretty much, yeah.
And they have a huge area out there, so they're allowing people that come down, they can camp for free.
There you go.
They have on-site concessions there.
Yeah.
I guess you could kind of compare it to like a ballpark food, except it's not ballpark food prices. You're not paying.
Sick.
Yeah, I mean you're not paying
$12 for a burger.
Yeah, I mean it's very reasonable. I mean, I was surprised.
Yeah.
And they give you like some food, bunch of food.
Hell yeah.
Big old drink and stuff, But but we feel like the pricing's on par,
Okay.
But
Is there plenty of parts stores and like gas stations, stuff, hotels, stuff like that around?
I don't know if there's any hotels in Reynolds, but there is a Napa like right across the street, pretty much.
That's tight. There you go.
Yeah.
But I mean, hotels are probably within 20 minutes or so, right?
Yeah,
Easy?
I mean, so you have Columbus and you have Macon on either side of Reynolds, and each of those is about 45-minute drive, just depending on which way you want to go.
It's a little bit of a hike, but it's not horrible.
Yeah. I mean, if you're driving, 3 hours to come down there and you don't want to camp.
Yeah. What about Airbnbs? They got any Airbnbs out there?
Whew, maybe.
Maybe?
Yeah. You might be staying on a farm. Yeah, it's not a whole lot out there, which is like part of the part that makes it cool. I mean, there probably ain't going to be any huge housing developments pop up out there,
That's fair.
Yeah.
Like in Salem for Riverside, there's 2 hotels. That's all you got.
Yeah.
And it's either shit or somewhat shit. That's about it.
Yeah. I mean, but to my knowledge, though, I mean, we're so close, I've never looked for a hotel there,
Oh, yeah, you haven't needed to.
But I don't think there is one out there.
Okay.
But there very well could be.
Because that's always going to be an issue for tracks, I think. Because that's a big one for NSS. Like, there's nothing around there. That's why it had been closed down for so many years.
Yeah.
But and I look at that too if I'm traveling.
Yeah, and Silver Dollar Motorsports Park also does have RV hookups as well.
No way, that's a game changer.
I mean, they do charge a little bit if you're going to hook up, but I mean,
I would hope so.
Yeah, I mean everywhere does, but they do have those on site too.
How much do you know how much they charge for them?
Let me look it up.
Because I feel like that's kind of trending now. A lot of people are getting RVs since you don't have to have a CDL for it.
Look, we're
cheat
about
code.
to buy one.
If you want a big rig,
buy a motorhome and
exactly.
there we go.
Yeah.
That's the cheat code.
Yeah, I don't think it was much. I know he has it listed like he actually he started registration just the other day, and he did post it on there. Let's see. Yeah, so he has the RV hookups are going to be $75 for the whole weekend.
The whole weekend.
Yeah.
That's not bad, because I had a dude that came down in an RV, and he travels the country as a FD mechanic.
Right.
And he stayed somewhere up here that was like $150 or something for a couple days.
Yeah, it's kind of pricey.
So, yeah, it
You
was a little
double check.
pricey, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't have a fucking RV, so I don't know what the
Yeah.
average prices for stuff
Yeah.
like that is,
But
but
it's a $75 for the weekend, and it says limited availability.
that doesn't sound bad at all.
Yeah.
Shit.
But I mean, it's
I'd
a
do
super
it.
slick setup out there, man. It's fairly laid back.
Yeah.
It's not Midpond laid back, but it's pretty laid back.
Well, after the investments of the road course track, do you think the prices of those events are going to be a lot more than the skid pad events? I would assume they would be.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume they would be. We haven't really talked about it too much.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, with the owner, I mean, it's all his decision. This is his racetrack.
Yeah, of course.
You know, but we haven't talked about it too much. But I mean, you could expect them to be more.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect them to be, $300 for a day. I mean, it'd probably
maybe
be
$300 for the weekend.
Yeah, maybe $300 for the weekend. Maybe $150 a day. Come out there, drive all day. I mean, I think that'd be pretty fair.
Yeah, that's about how we do it. $150 a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but that's all going to be up to him.
Is there ever going to be like a cap on drivers, like how many drivers can come?
Oh, I definitely. You talking about for the road course or the skid pad? Both.
Both, honestly.
Yeah. So
skid pad you can get away with a little more, but road course I would definitely say needs to be a cap.
Well, so for the skid pad, just the way it's laid out, you have to wait till someone's about 2/3 of the way done with the track before you can send another driver or tandem set of drivers.
That's pretty.
So I mean, it's kind of quick, but you don't want 100 people there because you'll be late waiting. I mean, 10 minutes ain't that long.
That's what sucks about Clarksville.
But waiting 10 minutes in line is a long time. It's not a long time, but it is a long time. But so we want to, have this event coming up limited to like 60 drivers for the skid pad.
Okay.
And when the road course gets paved and everything, we'll just have to see.
Yeah. And whenever you do the skid pad, is it all cones and stuff that you lay out, or do you paint them?
Yeah, it's gonna be cones and a chalk line.
Okay, so whenever you get a bunch of like beginners and stuff out, do you have? Because I always say in drivers meeting, keep it to 1 spin and get off, not 2 spins, because 2 spins is like just kind of annoying. That's just me, but
Yeah. So
and the cones flying everywhere. Does that not irritate y'all?
So
That piss me off.
We don't deal with the cones, so
yeah, there's no cones at Midpond.
Well, yeah, Midpond no, but
so we're actually doing a private day with us Fallline guys next weekend.
Hell yeah.
It'll have already happened by the time this comes out.
Yeah.
But so we have all of us are going, and we have a few other guys from Macon that are coming down, and we're gonna like fine tune how the October event's gonna be.
Nice.
And the owner's gonna be there as well. He's gonna be kind of involved in everything.
Yeah.
But we have enough people in our little group that we're going to be on everything.
Okay.
Like, we're going to be on it. It's going to go quick. But the events they were doing last year, there was no like beginner days. I mean, there's beginner drivers out there. But most of them, I mean, if they spun once, they might keep going, and if they spun again, they're definitely getting off.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the rule last year, like 2 spins and you're done. They'll probably be about the same,
Yeah.
Just to keep grid moving and stuff.
I feel you. Because that's always been one of those things that just takes up so much seat time, really bothers the shit out of drivers.
Yeah, it does bother. I mean, I can definitely see that. And I've been on track on like a hot lap day and had people spinning out in front of me,
Yeah.
But on the flip side of that, I've been the person spinning out in front of other people. I mean, I still remember how it is to be a new
I was always
driver.
respectful, though. Like, I spun and then I got off, and I just
Yeah.
never understood how people wouldn't do that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's how I was too, but I mean, I still understand. I mean, you want to drive, but...
I'm telling you, man. Dude, that feeling sucks when you're like the next one to go in line, and then all of a sudden someone just whacks a wall or, completely keeps spinning, and then they can't even get 50 feet without spinning again and again and again.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, fuck off.
Yeah.
Just get off the track.
Yeah, I mean, if something like that, does happen at this event, we'll probably meet them when they hop back in line and be like, if you're having trouble, maybe you can ask one of us.
Out.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe you can ask one of us for help, like ask another driver for help.
Yeah.
And then, also tell them, if you spin out like more than, if you spin out twice, just go ahead and get off and hop back in line. We'll try it again, But, I mean, we just want to see everyone driving and everyone having a good time. We don't want to be bullying people into submission.
I know. I'm not trying to say that.
Yeah. Yeah,
of course, just get out there. I just want drifting to grow. So.
Yeah, that's right. But I mean, I think probably like 2 spins or something like that.
Yeah.
But another good thing out there, like on the skid pad, there's like no walls to hit, which is great.
It's always good
You
for
know?
beginners. There you go.
Yeah. And then even the road course, when it gets paved, there ain't no walls out there.
You can get some K-rails. K-rails for it.
For the road course?
Dude, well, no, well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the road course. But honestly, if y'all invested in like some K-rails for the skid pad and did that for a year, I think that would be a better investment to move you towards the road course and build some excitement.
What is a K-rail?
So K-rails, like, I mean, they have the big concrete ones that are like on the side of the interstate.
Oh, you're talking about
yeah, they're just barriers.
Oh,
yeah.
So he has a lot of those at the track already.
No way.
A bunch.
So y'all gonna use those for the skid pad then?
Yeah. So they'll probably use those, like put a wall up in between the road and the grass,
Uh-huh.
like for where the spectators are.
But not for the layout.
No.
Oh,
no.
see, y'all should do that. Dude, I'm telling you, once there's that's what does so good for Lanier.
Yeah.
It's just an open area, but they use K-rails, so it gives the direction to go for the driver. You get an actual like physical object to get close to for outer inner zones, stuff like that.
Yeah. So this so I mean, just touch on that for a little bit. The ones they have at Silver Dollar are concrete. So if you tag one of those
aren't very portable.
Yeah, well, I mean, they can move them around, there. But
I ain't scared of no concrete barrier. I think that's even better.
Yeah, but I mean, someone smacks a barrier at Lanier that's a plastic barrier is a lot different than running into a concrete wall. But
ideal to have the plastic ones, but
so the plan is when we make these layouts, we're actually going to like chalk line some inner and outer zones. Mm-hmm. And granted, they're not going to last an hour, maybe 2 hours.
Yeah.
But hopefully that's long enough for everyone to get a good feel of where it's going to be at. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
At least give some of the newer guys like a direction of like, hey, like if you put your car here and then you put your car here, it's going to set you up for the next turn to get your car here and the next turn. You know what I mean? Just give them some direction without the risk of, totaling their whole car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Are you going to make it to where there's something a little bit more visible up higher, where for clipping zones and stuff, like a way taller cone, or?
I mean, we've thought about things like that. That's stuff that we're gonna,
that's just things that I think about whenever I'm driving. It's like, if I can't see what I'm trying to get close to, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
So
yes, I mean we've talked about that. Just because when you're 3 feet in front of a chalk line, you can't see it in your car.
Yeah.
But so we've talked about that, and that's stuff that we're gonna like dial in next weekend at this private day we're having.
Sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so we're gonna try to do is like everything we can at this private day to make October run very smoothly.
Yeah.
For Silver Dollar.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Well, cool. Is there anything else you want to add to the Silver Dollar thing, or does that pretty much cover it all?
Yeah. Just our group of guys, we're called Fallline Drift.
Yeah.
And we're just a group of drivers that want to support the drivers.
Good.
We want more people to
That's
drift.
what drifting needs.
Yeah. That's
Hell
it,
yeah.
man.
Well, actually, what's one thing that y'all see in drifting that you don't like that you wish would change?
You put us on the spot like that.
Of course.
Constant competition.
I've been asking like the
everybody.
past few podcasts this question because it's just like everyone has a different answer. It's very interesting.
Competition.
Like
not
elaborate.
competition events, but like individual competition with other people. I think people let their ego get a little ahead of themselves, and
100% agree with that. Yeah.
That's been...
I see people throw little pissy fits over the
Right.
smallest minuscule calls ever. I'm like, get over it. You're still in the comp. What are you bitching
That's what you're there
for?
for. I mean,
It's
you
just
can't go
crazy.
into these events and expect to win every time. I mean,
Yeah.
you gotta deal with it.
Just enjoy it.
People can't enjoy things anymore, It's always got to be, this wasn't deserved. I'm better than this. I'm better than you. It's me. Right.
Me.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Well, I like that one. What you got?
So, I mean, I don't really know. I mean, I don't really watch like drifting competitions. Like, I like to drift, but I don't really like watching a lot of drifting.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to explain.
It's hard, yeah.
But
I do it because I have to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what I would want to change in drifting. I feel like the scene's in a pretty good place, like maybe not globally, but like United States. It seems like it's in a pretty good place.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of good venues, there's a bunch of good locations. But I don't know, man.
Nothing?
I can't really think of anything. I
I
mean,
mean, like the way people build their cars. Or
yeah,
like,
but I mean,
stop running black wheels, you know.
I got black wheels.
Mm.
I'm slowly changing them out there. I got like 2 front ones that are not black.
I just hate like it just disappears on a car to
Right,
me.
yeah.
It just looks odd.
Yeah, but you know, I guess when you asked that question, the first thing I thought of was a lot of people think you need to like build your car to the max to go drifting. But you know, you see
Nope.
that I see that more with like people that don't drift yet. You know, like they're getting ready to go drift and they're building their car crazy. But
They get caught up in the while you're there's and shit.
yeah, I mean, if I guess if I could change one thing, it would be to let those guys know they don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Like you're going to do all that, and some of y'all are going to love drifting, and then some of y'all are going to hate it because you can't afford to drive.
Mm.
And even if your car doesn't break, it's going
That's
to
a hard
be
pill to swallow.
super expensive.
Yeah.
And if your car starts breaking, like that's going to be the line for a lot of people.
Yeah. That'll be the moment you snap.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I mean, even in my car, I want more power in my car, but I can drive my car all day on one set of tires.
That's how it should be.
That's awesome.
I'm trying to keep the RB set up that way to where I could still run like a pair of Kendas all day. Y'all are shaking your head back there. Y'all can't see them, but they're shaking their head. I've said it so many times on podcasts. I do not care about horsepower numbers. I genuinely don't care what it makes.
Yeah.
I just want it to be a good 350, 400 to where it keeps up with decent LS cars.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. So like when I
Conservative
say
on
like
tires. Y'all, I'm telling y'all.
Yeah. So like when I
Fuck
say
that.
my tires last all day, I'm not talking like 25 laps. I'm talking 60 to 70
I was about to say
laps.
60 plus.
Yeah, I mean, I'm out there driving all day. You know, I mean, some of those guys, they'll pull 30 laps in a day and their tires last all day, but I'm out there going. You know?
And that's not 60 back to back for anyone.
Yeah, maybe like
It's-
6 to 8 on a hot
It's
lap
like,
day.
yeah, like six back to back, take a 30-minute break, let the tires
Yeah,
heat cycle and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
That's how you'll save it. But
that's right. Yeah, I mean, I did one event. It was crazy. I was testing out like different tires to see which ones I liked.
yeah.
And I didn't end up liking these tires the most because they didn't have a lot of grip. But it was in Cordele at Fall Double Down. You familiar?
Yeah. I've
So,
heard.
so you enter, you do a layout, then you exit back into grid. I pulled 117 laps on one set of tires.
Damn.
Yeah.
What were they?
They were Mucho Machos.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they were not like
That's
the grippiest
surprising,
tire.
honestly.
They were a little slick, you know.
Yeah. Don't
But,
they have delamination problems sometimes?
Well, I didn't. I mean, obviously, I didn't
Yeah.
pulling that many laps, but I've only ran like one other set of those just to give them another shot, you know,
yeah.
at a different place, and they got really slick sometimes. Like you started getting them hot and they get real greasy and just want to slide everywhere.
Yeah, inconsistent.
But they lasted forever.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I have heard that. Hell yeah. All right. Well, we'll venture into the last question. What the best piece of advice for anyone just getting into drifting?
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. Just buy a car, weld the diff,
Don't make excuses.
just go. Just go do it. Look, I made excuses for the longest time. Like, oh, I'm going to go do it. I'm going to go do it.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to get a car first. Well, I got the car. It's like, oh, well, I'm going to do it. And then finally, I just did it. You just got to do it.
Yep. That's how mine was.
Absolutely the same.
Yeah.
Like, don't talk about going drifting. Go drifting.
Yep.
Get your LSD ready. Get your diff welded. Whatever you got, just come drive.
Yeah.
After
Do
your
what I
first-
did. Sell all the shit off your stance car.
Oh, absolutely.
Went and bought my Z the next weekend. I
Yep.
swear to God.
Yep. Fix your suspension. Sell your 3-piece wheels. Come drifting.
Ta-da. Hell yeah. Well, that was a good one. I like that. All right. Well, that's pretty much it for this one. Y'all got any final words? Want to plug anyone? And plug yourself?
Just ourselves. You know,
All right.
just the at Slipping Sideways on Facebook, Instagram, and slippingsideways.com. I got a website too.
Hell
Going.
yeah. It's on the screen in the description.
Yeah. So you can find us. We're on Facebook. It's a Fallline Drift. You know, come over there, give us a follow. Just try to follow what's going on with Silver Dollar Motorsports Park. We're going to be posting as many updates as we can as we get them.
Yeah.
But
Like it, share it, comment on it.
please, man, let
Do all
people
of
know.
it. Hell yeah. Well, cool. I appreciate y'all coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having
Y'all
us,
had
man.
a
Appreciate it,
decent
man.
little drive. So
It'd be all right.
yeah.
It's worth it.
Hell yeah. Well, that's pretty much it. So I guess hit the subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell notification as well so you never miss an episode. And that's it.
Yeah.
See you every Sunday for a new episode. Peace.
See y'all.
Dig.
Cool, man.
Yeah. Look, they said that I couldn't do it, so I went and did it. W's only, you know I've been winning. Top of the world, the globe is spinning. If you know, you know I've been on a what mission? Go. Okay, let's get it. Got a little time on my hands like a wristwatch. I don't got time for the breaks in the pit.